Hey, it's Keisha. Welcome and welcome back. We're on our next reading in Ask and It Is Given. This is process 10, the placemat process. So let us begin where we begin by first closing our eyes, taking a deep breath in, letting it out. Just begin to feel ourselves present and focused in this moment. Lovingly and gently calling all of our power back. Feeling ourselves made whole. Releasing any cares, concerns, worries. Just letting them go back to source. If you feel attached to anything, any person, any outcome, just go ahead and release that cord and let it go back to source. Likewise, if you feel like there's anything attached to you, gently see it releasing, or see it gently releasing and returning back to source. Whole, untethered, and free. I'll see a column of white light coming down over you. Breathe in that light. As you breathe in that light, notice how it's quickening the cells of the body. Notice how it's filling in the spaces between the cells. And you notice you yourself are becoming more and more the light. And take that in. Returning to our true and natural state of being. We are the light. Now begin to lift up higher and higher in that column. Out of our 3D worldly existence into a space of peace, of knowing, of power, space where we're at peace and at one with everything. Finding your space now in our sacred grove, with your heart open, your mind open. Gently open your eyes. Here we are. So, the placemat process, number 10. This is one we want to use when you want to more effectively utilize your universal manager, when you want to create your own reality more through the flowing of energy, when you want to create your own reality less through the offering of your own action, amen, when you feel like you have too much to do, when you want more time to do the things that bring you pleasure. Okay. So this is one to do when you're at a emotional set point between 2 and 11. And just to review what those might be, 2 is passion, 3 enthusiasm, eagerness, or happiness, 4 positive expectation, belief, 5 optimism, 6 hopefulness, 7 contentment, 8 boredom, 9 pessimism, 10 frustration, irritation, or impatience, and 11 overwhelmment. Feeling any of those, this will be ideal for you. So as Jerry and Esther Hicks's life evolved and as their ideas and projects expanded, Esther began carrying a notebook that contained her list of things she needed to do. The list evolved to several pages and was commonly called the list of things to do today. Now we all have one of those. I have several. Well, 10 people could not have accomplished this list in only one day. With each new entry to her list, Esther felt heavier and less free. Because of her desire to be of value and because of her willing nature, she created a huge sense of responsibility, and her feeling of freedom was being crushed by the weight of it. I think that's something we can all identify with. We have a general to-do list to keep us kind of on the beam and moving forward with the things that we were wanting to progress in. But then it becomes just overwhelming, right? The amount of things that are to be done. And the more we think about things to do, there's more to be done. And it gets to be a bit much. Sitting in a restaurant and waiting for their meal to be delivered to the table, Esther poured through the pages of her list. Occasionally, she would cross off something already accomplished, and immediately, with the omission, would think of 3 more things to add to the list. A sense of hopelessness washed through her as she asked Abraham, "What should I do?" "Take this large placemat," we explained, "and we'll guide you. Draw a line down the center of your placemat, and as a heading on the left side of the line, write, 'Things I will do today.' And as a heading on the right side, write, 'Things I would like the universe to do.' Now, looking over your things to do today list, select only those things that you absolutely intend to do today. Things you feel you must do, things you really want to do, selecting only those things that, no matter what, you intend to do today, and enter them on the left side of your placemat. And now enter all the other tasks on the universe's side of the placemat." Esther looked over the list and chose a handful of things that she really did need to do this day and entered them on her side of the placemat. And then she began transferring the long list of remaining important tasks to the universe's side. One by one, she transferred a task to the right side of the line, and as each task was transferred, she felt lighter. We explained to Esther that in order to achieve anything, she has only 2 things to accomplish. 1, she must identify the object of her desire, and then she must get out of the way and let it happen. In other words, ask and then find a way of achieving a vibration that allows it, because it is always given whenever you ask. As Esther had been poring over her long list of responsibilities, she was certainly amplifying the asking part of the equation. But her confusion and feelings of overwhelmment were certain emotional indicators that she was not in the vibrational state of allowing in what she was asking for. During the process of transferring those items to the universe's side of the placemat, her resistance began to soften, and her vibration began to lift. And while she didn't realize it at the moment, her point of vibration had also shifted, and she began immediately to allow for the realization of her desires. What Esther experienced in the next few days left her feeling amazed. Not only has she been able to easily accomplish her own short list and manageable tasks, but items on the universe's side of the placemat were also accomplished without requiring Esther's time and attention. People she had been unable to reach by telephone had reached her. Employees on her staff felt inspired to assist in some way, and they would accomplish something that was on Esther's list and then report to her after it was done, without her attention or making the request. Time seemed to stretch to allow more to be accomplished, and her timing with people and places and traffic improved dramatically. The placemat process caused Esther to focus on her desires more specifically, and for the first time to release her resistance at the same time. For when you ask, it's always given, but you do have to let it in. Very often, the list is served as an excuse to become overwhelmed. Speaking of our to-do lists, right? And we feel like we're accomplishing things. The more things are on the list and the more things we can scratch off. What we really want to do, though, is begin to acknowledge these things that we want to have happen, not necessarily place on us the responsibility that we're the ones that need to do them, right? And I think that's what this placemat process allows. So if we can say to our list, these are the things I prefer, I like, I appreciate, I want, then the heavens part for you, and the non-physical energies in that instance begin to orchestrate the manifestation of your desire. The energy begins to flow and circumstances begin to construct themselves in such a way that those tasks are then completed. You don't have to keep telling the universe what you want. You only have to tell it once. But as you say, I want, the universe begins, because as you say, I want, the universe begins to manifest it. And then you say, I would like it to be this way. And the universe modifies that. So once you're clear about what you want, that allows the universe to begin to construct it in the form in which you are requesting. 2 things I would add in doing this placemat process that I think help speed things along and release resistance. One is that when you initially state your desire about the things that you want to have done, you may immediately encounter a thought of resistance. I would say take a moment to write that down and to explore that fully, to find out if that's real, if that's true, if it applies. And by examining that resistance, you begin to break away pieces of it and dispel it, and it becomes nothing. It's no longer a wall of resistance because you've dismantled each part of it brick by brick. The second thing that I would recommend is, if you're noticing a resistance, ask that the universe release you of that resistance or show you why you're resistant so that you can heal that along the way. Because resistance is simply our old way of thinking, trying to maintain its place in supremacy alongside these new thoughts and actions that you're taking. But if you can acknowledge them head on, oftentimes, instead of being hard objects that impede your forward motion, they become phantom forms that flit away in the eye of the attention that you give them. The other thing that can also be true is that if you're asking the universe to provide something for you and you're noticing resistance, you can ask that the universe remove that resistance or teach you what you need to learn about that resistance in order that you grow beyond it. So placement process is pretty simple. I tried it earlier this week and I didn't use a placemat because I have my little cards, but you can see here what I had to do for that day, my list of tasks that I wanted to get done. Some of them I marked off, but I didn't go through and mark off the rest of them, but they did all get done. And then these are things on the universe's side that I'm asking it to do for me. And, we're waiting for these things too. I'm allowing space for them to happen. I'm not worrying so much about them because I put them off to the universe. And some of them are time sensitive, some of them are not. But I'm trusting that because I ask, it is given, and that they will all be resolved in their proper way and proper time. And I continue to maintain my focus on my side. And I feel like if I'm doing my part, the universe is going to do its. And so here we are in harmony. So there we are, nice and short, this placemat process. We'll do this for the week and we'll come back next and move on to the next one. I would love to hear how you're coming along with these processes. We're at 10 at this point and should be seeing some movement, should be seeing some activity, should be seeing blessings and things happening. I know I certainly am, and I'm sharing them with you. So please do the same and share them with me in the comments. One quick note about the algorithm. I'm putting out particularly fantastic content, especially with these meditations. I don't know if you've been doing them, but they have left me feeling quite phenomenal and spectacular. And we want more people to see it, to take advantage of it. And that's where your likes, comments, shares, and subscriptions come into play. Up until this point, I've not asked you to do that because I figure at this point you're all experts in YouTube and you recognize that. But as I continue to see that 60 to 70% of you that watch the videos are not yet subscribers, it made me think maybe I should, follow the crowd and say what big YouTubers say, and that is to like, share, and subscribe if you find this information of use and value to you, because that's what lets the algorithm know that this is content worth watching, and we'll begin to promote it to other people. And so I'm asking that of you, because we want this message out. We want more people to be in alignment with their best selves, and let's all grow together, right? So there we have it. And my little request of you, and I do want to hear about your stories of success and any challenges that you're coming up against, because those are areas where we can all help each other improve. So I look forward to reading those. And yeah, you all have a fantastic week. I will love you in the meantime. We'll be back here next one. Bye.